Good day, everyone. Today I'm here at the Holy Sepulchre Cemetery in the city of Orange, California. I'm doing the grave of Carl Nicholas Karcher. He is the founder, and he was the founder and chief executive of Carl Karcher Enterprises, who started Carl's Jr. Restaurants. Now, my family back in New York State probably won't recognize this name because there's no Carl's Jr.'s in New York that I can see. But there are Carl's Jr.'s now in 16 states, and there are CKE stores in 44 states. Just like McDonald's, and one of McDonald's founders is buried here in Southern California. I think he's in Riverside somewhere. But just like McDonald's and Burger King and others, Carl Karcher got in on the big hamburger craze of the early to mid 20th century. Born January 16th, 1917 in Upper Sandusky, Ohio, he As a teenager, as a young person, he moved out to Anaheim, California. Anaheim is the home of Disneyland, as most of you probably know. But he moved out here to Anaheim, California, where he worked for his uncle for 3 years. He was a delivery boy. And in 1939, he married Margaret Magdalen Karcher, and they started a hot dog stand in downtown Los Angeles. On July 17th, 1941, they borrowed $311 using their Plymouth automobile as collateral, plus another $15 from Margaret's purse. So the two of them, Carl and Margaret, started a hot dog stand in downtown LA just to try to earn more money. It was a success. There were a lot of hot dog stands at that time in LA. And 4 years later, 3.5 years later, in 1945, just before the end of World War II, they started Carl's Drive-In Barbecue in Anaheim. By 1974, that little restaurant had expanded to 100 restaurants, and then by 1981, they expanded to 300 restaurants. Just like Burger King, just like McDonald's, this enterprise grew. It took a little while, but it grew. In 1993, however, Carl was sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission for insider trading. He settled the case in 1989 for $664,000, so it was quite a setback for them. The Carl's Jr. business, the empire seems to have been losing money at that time. So Carl was getting on in years, and the company board voted him out as chief executive, and they voted in someone else. Carl remained on as chairman emeritus. So I mean, he wasn't completely out. Anyway, Carl's Jr., CKE, acquired Hardee's, Hardees. Most of you probably recognize that name. They acquired Hardee's in 1997. They actually merged with Hardee's. Sorry, I was waiting for a helicopter to pass overhead. Anyway, CKE acquired Hardee's in 1997, and today they are now in 44 states. Carl Karcher was a devout Catholic. He was an active member of the Sovereign Military Order of Malta. He and his wife had 12 children. It looks like 3 of whom are buried right here where I'm sitting. He was a lifelong supporter of conservative causes, which earned him the ire of some leftist organizations. You know, you take a stand against something politically or socially, yeah, you're going to have backlash. It's going to happen. But Carl continued to live a prosperous life, you know, in spite of being sued for insider trading and other things. He had a very spacious home in Anaheim, and he he has photographs in his old home of photographs of himself standing with President Reagan, President Nixon, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, believe it or not. Yeah, he was photographed with Gorbachev. He was photographed with entertainer Bob Hope, and even Pope John Paul II. And the Pope knighted him into the Order of Malta. It was a very high honor for a layperson. He died in 2008 from complications of Parkinson's disease at the age of 90. But Carl's Jr., although they're only in 16 states, 44 states, including Hardee's and other places, they continue today, and they're still earning a buck. So let's go look at Carl's grave. This is a statue of St. Francis of Assisi. I understand that someone donated it, along with St. Francis's prayer. St. Francis of Assisi was known for his charitable works. Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Yeah, it was a gift of Margaret and Carl Karcher Trust. It was sculpted in 1991. And this is Carl's grave, directly in front of the statue of St. Francis of Assisi. His lovely wife, Margaret Magdalen Karcher, I understand they were married for more than 60 years. She died just a year and a half before he did. She died at 91. Carl died 5 days short of his 91st birthday. But she was really his strength and his backbone in getting this business going. He was a devout Catholic. He loved God. I'm not Catholic myself, but he certainly believed in all the social and moral causes that I believe in. They've got other members of the family buried here. This is their daughter. And turning back toward, we're not far from the driveway. This is a brother of his, sister-in-law, another brother and sister-in-law, and another brother and sister-in-law. So yeah, Carl Karcher got in on the hamburger craze just in time. And, well, God bless his business, which I'm happy about. So rest in peace to Mr. Carl and his lovely wife and all of his family members. In their honor, I've got 2 stones to lay at their grave. Okay. Margaret Magdalen Karcher, Lady of Grace. Carl Nicholas Karcher, Man of Honor. And they certainly were. Rest in peace, folks. And thank you for Carl's Jr. Restaurants. I've eaten there myself. Good place.